I'm joined by Margate player manager Ben Greenhalgh after his side's 3-0 win against Whitstable Town. Ben, first 90 minutes are in the bag. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. All part of the progression, all part of the schedule, and we managed to get 45 minutes pretty much for everyone. And in the end, we had a couple of injuries from our under 23s on Thursday night, so we had to fill in with a couple of 90s out there as well. So it's good to see them get through that. But at the same time, we've worked hard enough during the 45 minutes and then worked hard after the 45 minutes, because there's one thing that we're going to make sure we are this year, and that is loads of energy and as fit as we can possibly be. So I think the first 5 training sessions has sort of surpassed where we hoped we would be. We've hit some really good numbers statistically. We've managed to implement bits of playing styles, which is early on in pre-season to be able to do that. So we're happy with where we're at. We've got a brilliant squad at the moment. Always an opportunity to add when we can, but like I'm saying, we're not out there looking. We're not out there on the pitch looking at if players can perform. We're now actually trying to get these players to perform in the way that we want to.
Okay. How important is it to build that fitness up in the early stages of pre-season, rather than looking towards tactical knowledge stuff? How important is it to make sure the players out there are fit and ready to go?
I think it's got to be your initial goal to start the season where everyone's 100%. But like I was saying, luckily we've actually managed to go over a bit of tactical information in each session while working really hard. And it's a credit. It's not credit to the manager, so it's credit to the players, because they've taken in on all that information that we've done, and the sessions are flying by and they're flowing really smoothly, and we're managing to get everything out of it that we had planned to. So in terms of analysing what we're doing, it's coming from the boys and it's been great. So we keep kicking on. The fitness will always continue to be a thing, but if we can do a bit of both and we work on tactics while managing to put the right amount of effort in, then that's where we're going to hit to new levels.
Obviously, after the first 90 minutes, you took 45 minutes yourself there in the second half, managing in the first half. How do you think you'll be able to balance that dynamic throughout the season?
I've brought in the right players. We've brought in the right players to make sure that happens. Everybody here knows that I'm a player. Everybody here knows that I've always been a coach. So we're going to make sure that everybody understands the situation, and they do, and it's been brilliant. And they've, to be fair to them, it's another credit to them, because they've taken that information and the understanding of the dynamic between us as management staff really well. They'll listen to me if I'm on the side, they'll listen to me if I'm playing a game, and at the same time, if I'm not performing well enough, they'll get on to me, and that's how the dynamic has to work. And obviously we've all got respect for each other, so as soon as that respect drops from any player, and whether that's from myself to that player or that plays myself, that's when we'll find ourselves in a negative situation. But at the moment, like I said, we've brought in the right players to understand it and to work hard throughout that motion.
Obviously, you don't really look towards the actual result in these very early pre-season fixtures, but you've got to give a shout out to goalkeeper Tom Ray for a fantastic penalty save in that second half. How important is it for him to come in and show you why he's such a number one?
We nearly got Tom in last year. And then obviously Harry came through, and Harry had a brilliant season for us. So when you're replacing someone like Harry, who was a fan's favourite and was obviously is someone that's going to progress in the game, you need to bring in someone who's going to fit the same motive, and that is Tom Ray. He's a young goalkeeper who's got plenty of quality, really good with the ball at his feet, and he's a shot stopper, and he's proved that today by saving a penalty, which wasn't a penalty, but he's gone and saved the penalty and kept a clean sheet. Which those little habits where we're saying we don't go out there to win the game of football. But we do work to see the certain patterns, we work to see our fitness, and then there has to be a level of we're looking to win. Defenders are looking to get clean sheets, goalies looking to make saves and stop the ball going into his net, us forwards are looking to try and create and score goals, and those things are just an added bonus. And where we've managed to do that today, I'm not saying we're anywhere near there, there's still loads of progression, loads of work to be done, but we're ticking along nicely at the moment.
Last season, fans would say there was a lack of cohesion between certain players last season. How important do you feel is to have that core of players all on your vision? Yeah,
I think the main thing was from the beginning we've all got to be part of the wavelength. No matter who the player is, how good the player is, if there's a player sort of off on their own thing and not doing what the team dynamic is set to be, then it's never going to work. Last year was difficult because there was disruption throughout the whole season, and that became different plans, different playing styles, different positions. This year we're going to make sure we've got it right from the beginning and from the outset, and I feel like we are ahead of the game. Like I'm saying, there's players already putting in good performances, in good positions. There's going to be plenty of battles. I've said to the strikers, there's about 6 of us that are battling for 4 positions. So we're going to have that enjoyable battle, and we've got to relish that. We're not going to get to the point where it's it's an issue that we're sitting on the bench, there's going to be a position where, well, if he's starting, he's going to play well, and if he's not, then I'm in the team as well. And we're going to have that mentality between us, and we've all got the same goal, and that is to go and win games of football.
Well, we're back here at Hansen under the lights Tuesday evening. We'll take on Dover Athletic. Are you going to do much the same in terms of the 45 minutes each half, or what are you going to be looking to do anything differently? Initial
plan was always first 2 games 45 minutes. There might be players that might again fill out a 90, fill out a 60. So and there's obviously the hardest thing with pre-season is some players are away at certain times because we don't get paid in pre-season as players. So it's very much, sometimes players have holidays, some people work in schools, and you've got to understand a few days here and there is understandable because the football season is a long old season, and it can be mentally quite difficult. So players sometimes need to switch off, and then obviously once they've switched off, they come back here and they work even harder to make sure they get themselves back into that team. So there'll be times when we've changed things where we've had to miss players, but that's pre-season, and it gives other players opportunities. And obviously, like you saw out there today, we started a 17-year-old Louis on the right wing, and it's all about giving opportunities. And Vinny's still 17 himself, so there's going to be options for them. They're always going to get chances. They don't have to take their chances right away, and still we're all going to be part of it. And it goes for everyone else. There's players that may not feel like they've performed to the level they wanted to for their debut at Hartstown Park, but there's always Tuesday, there's always the following Saturday, and that's the sort of the motion we're going to have as a team, and we're going to keep pushing each other.
Perfect, lovely. Cheers, Ben.
No worries. Cheers, guys.